Mobadanida, mobadanida, mobadanisa. Mobadanida, mobadanida, mobadanisa. Mobadanida, mobadanida, mobadanisa. Oh ya Mustafa, Nurul Huda. Sani tera koi nahi, Shamsudha koi nahi, Badr tuja koi nahi.
Thank you so much for joining me on this podcast. I have been extremely excited since the last few days, since the conversation started about having you both on the podcast. And to give you a bit of background, I have been very keen to have members of the Firdaus Orchestra since a year ago. So, and I have personally found it extremely inspirational and revolutionary with what has been done so far in the last 12 months or more than that. And so the thing is, I mean, I always look at the aspects of speaking to people who create a revolutionary movement, something like what you have just done, and then what's going to occur in the future as well. And this inspires me, and it might also inspire hundreds of other people who watch this, and then most importantly, the fans of music. They are the ones who are going to benefit the most, and then there might be people who might pursue music after this. So that's the whole intent of this whole journey. One is to get inspired, the other one is to spread love, and the third one, probably, I'm just making it up, keep smiling. I want to start off with something that Sir had said probably at the start of the Firdaus journey, I think. And he said something, this is a quote from him saying, "For me, this is probably one of the most exciting things in this decade." And this is huge coming from him. And this clearly shows how passionate he has been to create something like this, a vision. I'm thinking this is more of a collective vision between him and and many others, I would say, and I could be wrong in that, but I'm happy for you to guide me through it. And I know for the fact that Sir has worked on the orchestra with yourselves for about 12 months, straight from starting with the selection training, mentoring, and then also composing some of the original music that actually brings out the true essence of the sound of Dubai. So I'm very keen to touch on so many of these aspects. Am I right by saying that Firdaus Orchestra has about 50 women, and it's from various multicultural background, and the vision has been to celebrate women musicians? Am I right?
Yeah.
Who wants to go first? Brief me through on what's been the journey like for Firdaus Orchestra.
Yeah, thank you for your question. I just want to say big thanks for having this opportunity to represent Firdaus Orchestra and talk about us today here and our upcoming concert in November 19. I just would like to say that, yes, we are 25 nationalities now in our orchestra. We have recently joined ladies from Hungary and from Peru. And it's really amazing how all these nationalities blend and all, culture blends here. And we have amazing fusion of instruments, styles of playing. And it's really inspiring and motivating us to do something new here in Dubai.
Mm-hmm. Wow, so amazing. And so that's 50 of you in the orchestra?
Yeah. 50, and we still expanding.
Yes.
Because
expanding, okay, right.
Yeah, expanding. Yeah, because we would like to have a full brass section, string section, and also we have Arabic and Indian instruments and amazing percussion group. So it's really, I think we about 60 now.
We are already
Oh,
about
wow.
60.
Yeah, we turned in
that's
60
right.
Is there a target number to achieve or something, or you're just going with?
We will see. It depends on the pieces. We have different songs. So, we also going to have a choir soon that will join us
Right.
on the stage in the
Yeah,
concert.
I don't think we are having limits, So different pieces requires a different number of musicians. So we are very open to have, as Olena said, choir. And we collaborated with a few different groups of singers for different pieces, and let's see what will happen for coming concert. We won't spoil now.
On that note, let's talk about the concert. So what's happening on the 19th of November, and what sort of concert is it, and what can we expect as fans, hardcore fans of Sir and music?
So yes, 19th of November is going to be our first concert of upcoming season, our opening
Right.
concert, and it's quite exciting because we are having 3 different parts of this concert. First part of concert, we are going to play the best of Firdaus pieces that we played last year in different concerts. We will have some amazing soundtracks and some beautiful pieces of classical music. That's going to be first part of the concert, and then second part we will have an amazing singer, Abi Sampa, with Qawwali Project. She already performed with us last year, and I can say that her performance with her group of musicians was really successful, and people enjoyed a lot, and we got really great review. And of course, third part of the concert and the most exciting one is our mentor and composer, A.R.Rahman, who is going to take stage with us, and we are super excited about that.
Of course, and you can see me smiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just would like to
And,
add for the first part of the concert that Tamara mentioned, we're gonna play some classical music, but the arrangement done by our mentor AR, special for
Yes.
our group, because we have fusion mixed Arabic instrument with classical. So even the classical music was arranged special for us by our mentor, so it's gonna be sounds unique, not a regular symphony orchestra play. So it's something that you have to come and listen to in life.
Of course.
And you promised us that you are going to come for next concert, right?
Yeah, we're excited to have
January, I'll be there.
Yeah, we are
I'll come
waiting
there
for
for
you.
sure.
We are very happy to
Thank you.
welcome you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's my privilege, and we could probably do an in-person podcast then.
Oh,
And
that
go
would be
deeper
amazing.
into detail about so many other aspects. Thank you so much. And I definitely wanted to touch on one aspect. So you mentioned Abi Sampa is going to be collaborating with you, or performing with you rather. That's probably the right word. I'm just curious to know what sort of a jamming session do you actually have, and where does the collaboration aspect actually start, and how do you arrive at finalizing this is what we're going to be performing on the day of the concert? So if you can please talk me through that.
This is a huge work of all our team.
Yeah.
So we have our conductor and at first our mentor who decides on the program, and we talk about this, discuss many weeks to make sure that the program that finalized is amazing to perform and the best to have for opening, because it's our first concert after summertime. So it's a long journey, but absolutely successful, I think, because every piece that was chosen, it reflects in our hearts. So
Wow.
that's, I want to say that.
Yeah, and I would add to what Olena just said, that we are having also a big team of our managers and different people. Everyone has different journey. in this project. So they are also collaborating and talking and having a lot of meetings before we even know. So
Oh,
basically, we musicians are just ready to practice and to make from all this kind of scores music. So this is our main thing, and I feel like we are relaxed from other stuff, so we can focus more and give our best when it's time for performance or recording sessions, because that's also what we do here.
right. Wow, that's amazing. And then when
Yeah.
did the actual rehearsals or the jamming sessions actually start? When did you actually start rehearsing for this? Oh,
Actually, we never stop rehearsing. So yeah, we keep working on different things every
Right.
week. We don't have any like a huge amount of days of vacations, because we really working
Yeah.
on, our orchestra is young. We're only 1 year old, and
Yeah.
we are full of energy, and we are so motivated to make things amazingly done. And apart from live concerts, we have movie recordings. We have some new composers coming that would like to collaborate with us, some soloists. So we really never stop. So that's why we like a big organism. We always working, talking, meetings, helping us to keep always energy, motivation there. That's why I couldn't say like where we really started it, because we never stop.
Yeah.
at all.
You know, any orchestra, any professional orchestra is basically working 5 days a week.
Yeah.
So we are having 5 days a week rehearsals, about 4 hours every day, and to keep high level, you have to practice at home as well. So it's like
Yeah.
all your day is busy with music, and to be
Yeah.
ready for rehearsals, you have to practice at home and come ready for rehearsals. But to answer to your original question, usually when we are having guest artists, they are coming, let's say, 1 week before concert, and then we are having intense rehearsals,
Wow.
basically all days. And we are rehearsing a lot with them, doing sound checks, having rehearsals on the stage. So it's really huge work, but also it's really beautiful, especially when we are working on some new pieces, and you start making music from just piece of paper, So you
Yeah.
have notes in front of you, and biggest thing is to make something that is going to connect later with people who are going to listen. So I think this is that process of making music is maybe the most beautiful thing, apart from, of course, a live performance.
Of course. I definitely want to go deeper into what you just mentioned, but I'll do that in a bit. I'll come back to it because it has obviously intrigued me and I want to hear more. But before I do that, the third part of the concert on the 19th is obviously our beloved ARR Sir performing. So, am I right by saying Sir is performing in the concert?
We decided today not to say anything to you.
So, is that going to be a surprise then?
No.
Yeah, we would definitely
can
say
say.
that he will be there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And please come and join us and enjoy music. We will
Yes.
definitely perform many of his hits,
Yes.
Yeah.
made special for the orchestra, for the big and with choir. So you can guess, even when I say choir.
Yeah, you can guess
What's gonna
what
be
songs
there.
we are going to perform. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'll let the fans keep guessing that part, but I'm sure this is going to be a huge visual and a musical treat for the fans who are able to make it in Dubai on the 19th. And as I promised, I'll definitely be there in the month of Jan. And here's the thing. So before we progress into other aspects, Olena, would you like to perform anything? Absolutely
Yes,
anything. It
my
doesn't have to be
pleasure.
something from what you're going to be performing on the 19th, but it's up to
Yeah,
you. If you do want to perform something which you are going to be performing on the 19th, that's even better, but it's up to you.
Yeah, I just By accident, I have my violin here today, and I decided to play one of the songs that really touched my heart. From the very first second I opened my scores and played it. This is Bombay theme, composed by A.R. This is something special that I would like to listen on repeat by my own.
So good. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. It always brings
Thank
tears
you,
to my
Olena.
eyes whenever I'm in a concert and so happens to play this, and it's such a beautiful thing. And thank you so much for playing this.
Yeah, there's another
Um,
part played by flute solo as well. It sounds stunning. Every time I hear it, I have tears. It's an amazing song.
Wha- wha-
I have such privilege to play this piece on the big
Yes.
stage. Yeah, and
Yeah, for sure.
under mentoring
And-
of AR.
Of course. I'm just curious to know, why does this particular, I mean, of course, there are many others as well, but why does this particular thing brings tears when it's played? It does to me as a music fan, as an audience member, but yourself as a musician, you're performing it. What exactly do you go through while performing it that it brings tears? I'm just curious. I want to get into your hat and then figure out why.
Yeah, that's a good question. In music it sounds simple, like we have only 7 notes. People say 7 notes, but the way it's combined, you should have a talent, not only skills, to combine these notes and make the sound so touching. So even without knowing what is in the back, like what was happening in movie, right? It's these
Mhm.
pieces from the movie.
Yeah.
The way he mixed these notes, I just trying to explain like in simple way.
Yeah.
The way he mixed these notes and put it in the proper rhythm and adding these Indian trills and ornaments, it's all together makes my heart melting. Because it's something special. The way he combined is just few notes. It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And also depends on which instrument you choose to play this melody. If you will ask trumpet to play this melody, it wouldn't sound that touching, because trumpet used for another purpose in the music. So everything done, it was perfect.
I would like to add something to Olena beautifully
Sure.
explained. I'm not only pianist but also composer, and from that perspective, I can say that when I sit to compose, or I believe any composer, you try to transcribe into notes all what you are feeling in that particular moment. There is specific language Olena already explained through different combination of notes, rhythm, and so on, but also sometimes is going through some improvisation, and it's just moving you into some other world, where you just try to explain different kind of experience that you are going through and different kind of emotions. And I believe that later on, when somebody is listening that piece of music, it can feel that, maybe it cannot explain, but because music language is pretty complicated, and only maybe professional musicians can talk in that level. But what is for sure that every kind of person can feel what that composer used to feel. And also what is really beautiful, that you can explain, probably every single person will say different kind of story, and it works. It's not like that there is only one particular story or one kind of feeling that is there. No, everybody will feel in different way, and also what is nice that sometimes we are going through a different experience, but we are getting into same things, and we recognize, oh, I know this kind of feelings, or I had similar
Right.
experience. So this is what is maybe also interesting to add, that people can also understand, but by not talking with musical language. Yeah.
For sure. And could there be another factor where something like this, when it's played, it brings back certain memories and then triggers the emotion? Me personally, not that it brings back any memories, and it just I don't know, tears just start rolling down. As an example, it was in 2018 when Sir and his band were here in Melbourne, Australia, for a concert. This particular track was performed, and tears started rolling down my eyes. And then at the end of the performance, I just realized a complete stranger who was right next to me had her head on my shoulder, and she was weeping profusely. And well, I mean, I just let her do it, but that's the best part about music. And so does it also trigger the as the memories triggers the emotions? Or I I don't know, you can clearly tell that it's an interesting topic, and I'm trying to find answers for it.
Yes,
Yeah, it is
you're right. Like
possible.
everyone have something to remember, and it's like
Mhm.
something
Right.
maybe a very private thing. Yes, and the
Yeah.
same melody, yeah, reflects in different hearts differently. Yeah.
Yes.
And of course, there's some memories coming. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And so coming to you, Tamara, you started to learn how to play piano right at the age of 3.
No,
From
no,
your dad?
actually, I started learning singing with my
Oh,
father.
right. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
And at the age of 3, was it?
basically, yes, basically, I started talking very late. So I was all the time going around house and singing some melodies. I couldn't talk. They were thinking maybe something is wrong, but I was singing,
Right.
you know. And then he started practicing with me singing since he's playing guitar, and it's, you know, it's nice. While he's playing
Mhm.
guitar, and he was practicing with me and my brother. And I believe that even though I didn't start too early to play piano, but I believe that experience with music is very important. And the way how my parents, because all my family, they're all musicians as a hobby, not profession, so they gave me that love to music, you know. And I believe that I'm having this inside me forever. I got that passion and love for music from very, very early age. And then later, piano came in, and I started playing piano, and I decided that I'm going to be pianist, not singer.
Right. And
But
then
the
as a composer
microphone
too.
suits you well also.
Yes, that's right. So I started composing also at very early age, and I felt a little bit
Yeah.
shy because I started trying to find some melodies on the piano, and I you know, you couldn't find so many composers in my country. I'm from Montenegro, and it's very little country, about 700,000 people, like small town in India. So yeah, so we are few, you know, and I just was very shy to show, but later on I decided that this is what makes me happy, and this is
Wow.
how I can express myself the best, not with the words but with music. So yeah, and that's how my journey continued.
It's so amazing when somebody is able to identify what makes her or him happy, right? That's I mean, being able to discover what gives you happiness.
Yeah,
That's a blessing.
It is. I really believe it is, because you know, so many people they could spend life that they don't know what they don't discover their talents, or they don't
Yeah.
find really huge passion and love to do something. So I'm really thankful that I got to know at very, very early age that that's what I want and what I like. I was talented for some other things, but I just knew it that I can do only music and nothing else.
Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
It's so inspirational.
Thank
Olena, coming to you. Started learning to play violin at the age of 3.
Yeah, that was me.
How did
That was you.
I'm not even sure what I was doing at the age of 3.
I do remember this. I don't remember many other things. This I do. You know what I like. What I like that as much I remember myself the earliest time. I remember always I play violin. That's amazing. So it means like it's always with me. Even if I travel with my family for some like holidays, I will bring my violin and I will just enjoy playing. If I have even 1 hour free time or like waiting for airplane, I will find some corner and play if my violin with me. I really enjoy. Yeah, so I started age of 3 because my sister was playing. She was at this time 8, and she didn't really like violin. She likes more piano, but my
Right.
mom was like, "No, you better play violin." So like all this, usual stuff. And one day I really love watching her playing. And one day I just grab her violin and start playing. So I just tried to copy her, I can say, and amazingly it turns that I played even better without any lessons than my sister practicing every day. And my mom, so nobody forced me to play. So my mom brought me to that teacher, and teacher thankfully accept me at age of 3 because maybe you know that some of the teachers, they don't want to accept kids if they are not like 5 or 6 at least years because they need to count. But at this time I was reading, so it was fine. I know how to count a little bit, but not that like 5 or 6 years old child. So the teacher accepted me and turned that I can quickly pick up many difficult skills. And at age of 4 I performed my first concert with symphony orchestra. So I was a
Wow.
soloist with tiny violin, and I played funny song named "For Cockroaches." So I do remember it very well. Yeah, so after that I was classically trained musician, but I always feel that I like other styles. So in my country, like at more Russian school, so it's super classical music, and it's with many details to be done perfectly. And I was preparing for Tchaikovsky competition and all these huge, difficult concerts, but always my heart feel that I want to do something else apart from classical. And thankfully I work in Italy, so I used to play in Italy apart from classical music. I also learned some gypsy music, jazz music in United States, and then I
Wow.
moved to Singapore where I worked almost 9 years, and then I played with Indian violinists, so they have different violin school there. It was so inspiring me, because now I finally can see how like not only how it sounds like, but how it really looks like, how to get these beautiful trills, all these beautiful ornaments from this different school of music. So I really enjoyed it. I learned also Chinese violin. It calls erhu, so it's like a violin that you have to put on your knee, and then there's 2 strings and you play like that. So I really enjoyed going with different styles. So now I'm here in Dubai with 25 nationalities orchestra,
Yes.
guiding ladies all around the world. Yeah.
And you're the concert master.
Yes,
as well.
I'm a concert master, so whenever it comes to play it, whenever in the piece there is a solo violin, so I have to shoulder it, and also I have to guide other string players and actually all orchestra members. We have leaders of different sections, but overall ladies can come to me with all their
Different questions.
and yeah. So I would like always to share my suggestions, advice, and we always communicate about different
Yes.
aspects.
Yeah, I would like
Right.
to add to what Olena said.
Please.
Even I didn't know many things. It's really beautiful to hear all that experience. You know, in Europe, when you study music, they force you so much to practice classical music, and there is literally no time to learn any other style of music. Thanks God, I had my parents at home who are playing so many different kind of music, and my father was into traditional Montenegrin traditional music, and he's originally violinist, and he was playing all his life from age maybe 10, 12 in traditional orchestras. So that was my first experience with music. Actually, I started singing traditional music with him, and maybe what we take from our home, it stays with us forever. So that's why I feel I was somehow open to learn different styles. And then I came 7 years ago in Dubai, and I started learning a lot about Arabic music, and then Firdaus happened. And now what Olena already explained, it's really amazing that we are able to learn about different kind of music, not only classical, but now we added to our program soundtracks, movie music, and then Indian music, and then so many pieces from AR, which are very, very different from each other. And I would like just to mention that even Moonlight Sonata Beethoven, which was our first release, we played in very different way, because our mentor AR, he made completely new arrangement, and it's something amazing. People can listen. That's our first release on all world platforms. You can find and listen. It's really amazing, because we kept what Beethoven composed, but in addition to that, he wrote some beautiful solos for violin. Olena played, and our principal cellist Vesislava, and then he added to that harp for our harpist Lydia, and one more soloist, Ksenia, our principal viola. So it's really interesting, because we are all used to that sound. That I don't believe there is person who doesn't know Moonlight Sonata, but then when you listen, you can't say that it's not amazing, because it is really, it's amazing. And I'm very happy that that was our first release, and that I was part of that. I played piano part, and all people that I mentioned. So you see, it's like a fusion of a lot of styles. Even when we are playing classical music, we are having very often some Arabic instruments, and it's really surprising, when you hear one Turkish march for piano, that's piece for piano. So you hear that start of piece, kanun, Arabic instrument is playing, and it really sounds amazing. So we have a lot of stories like this in our program.
Of course, I can imagine, and I would love to hear more about it in probably the part 2 of this podcast for sure. We're going to go deeper into each of those things that you mentioned. One of the things I'm very fascinated about the Firdaus Orchestra itself, the vision, and how right from inception to the way it has been conceptualized, and then where it is today. So 50 women, 60 women as of today, coming from various multicultural backgrounds. One thing that I definitely wanted to ask was the fact that completely different backgrounds, multicultural. One thing that unites them is the sound, the music. How hard or easy is it to unite everyone with just music? 50, 60 women, we are talking 60 women, it's not easy. And also the second part of that question is, how do you manage everyone to be in sync? They have to be in synchronous while performing, and there is no room for errors, especially when you're up on stage performing. How do you just talk me through this. I'm losing out on words on how is this even possible. We're not talking just 2, we are talking 60.
Yeah, that's a good question. But we have a conductor, first of all, who unite all of us during performance. That's how we sync. So the conductor is very important person. And when we have also lady conductor, so when she show us the beginning, we know exactly when it is. And then for each section, for each group, we have a leader who also guiding their own group. and that makes things much more easier. Tamara, she is alone in piano. She doesn't have any more pianists around her, and then she's watching the conductor. That's how we sync in. It's, if you ask, the way we start and end on the same time. That's the way. And of course, we are all well organized. We are all adult and matured, and some of us have families and kids. That makes our life more organized. You know, if you know how to manage your family, you know, and you can do it. And that's why, like, it's not difficult for us, and it's even more supported when we have these all nationalities, because we support each other, we care of each other, we have this mood of sisterhood, when we always think about partner. We don't think only, no ego, don't think about yourself, we think how I care of my partner. Does she know which piece to open? Does she know which bow to play? I mean, like we have in violin, for example, it's direction, what finger to, like everything. We care of each other, and of course you will care, like how you well prepared for the concert, how you care of your conductor who comes and does your rehearsal, and of course you need to be well prepared, and all this, like, it's about care, about love and understanding. That's how it works in Firdaus.
Yeah, but also I would add to this that, you know, most of us, we are trained like that from day one. So it's not something that we have experienced only 1 year. It wouldn't work. You know, we all played in some different ensembles before this, in some different orchestras. So from very young age, you are trained to learn how to follow your leader or conductor, or, you know, so it's kind of part of us, and it's kind of natural for us, so it's
So error free is like it's a natural thing, you that doesn't even occur. Oh, is that right? Is that how
you know,
I'm hearing?
Of course, we are trying to do our best and to do as perfect as possible for performance. But we are human beings. We are not computers, you know. So it's totally okay to have sometimes some, you know, it's happening to every single orchestra of the world. But the way you exit that problem at that particular moment, this is important, how fast you can exit and continue playing, because problems are happening and it's normal, but of course through a lot of practicing they are minimized.
Right. And considering having a 60-member orchestra, this is just me being a complete layman and an audience member asking this question, is, do you have a contingency or a backup plan if somebody falls sick on the day? And then how do you cater to that? How do you work? Because that person has obviously rehearsed with you for weeks and this person falls sick. I'm just saying, it'll never happen, God forbid. But I'm just saying, so how do you even think about those aspects? Like, okay, this is a backup plan, this is how we need to do this, or what happens there?
Yes, of course, everything is planned, and we have plan B, C, and
we call some male musicians, and then we put some wigs on them. We are good.
No, that's a joke.
No, we are ready. We always have backups.
Yeah, but you know, we know the
girls,
date
you know?
in advance. We know what will happen, so everyone plan their life accordingly to concert and minimize risks. We always minimizing risks because, for example, Tamara, she's only one pianist, and we have Lydia, beautiful harpist. She's only one. So we always try and make sure they're not carrying heavy stuff, no one coughing around them, sneezing. So they're very precious, you know, for us. Yeah, of course. Even, I would say, even the violinists that we have 6 in one group, of course, we still care of each other and make sure everyone comes on the day of concert. But of course, there is some back up plan, but so far we managed the last year. I can tell you that it's my experience that first time having such organized ladies in the group, because I was concertmaster and leader of big
Yeah.
groups through my journey, and I saw many situations happening, and I can tell you that I was amazed how Firdaus members trained, how they really care to be on concert day ready. And it's like, you know, for you, for audience, you only see us 1 hour or 2 hours during we perform, but of course it's a long journey for us to start preparing.
Yeah.
And even of the day of the concert, we are from the morning, we have rehearsals, we have makeup, all this dressing. It takes many hours to be done, and then when you come, it's mean that we're ready completely. There is no problem behind. We all done. We're all ready. So that's a long journey for
Yes,
us.
very long.
And when you see the outcome, that's the best way.
Yes.
Of course.
And then there
I
is
still
no
get
rest.
nervous.
Straight after
Right.
one concert, there is no rest. We start
Start
preparation
rehearsing
for
again.
next concert. Yeah.
So good. And do you still get nervous before you jump on the stage, or you're
I-
used to it by now and no, there's no such thing as nervousness?
I wouldn't say nervous, but feeling that I'm responsible,
Wow.
especially if I'm having some solo parts,
Yeah.
some important parts. So I try to talk to myself before
Yeah.
concert.
Right.
Even I started already talking to myself about some parts, so I can imagine being on the stage, you know,
Right.
and being ready for that moment, how I'm going to perform that particular part of one piece. So I believe that this is all preparation, that it lasts much longer than that 1 hour on the stage. So
For
I
sure.
believe if you are really ready, you are okay, you are not nervous.
So good. Very well
Yeah.
put. I love it.
And there is some patterns how to be prepared for the stage
Yes.
that works
Mhm.
almost for everyone. It's like you don't have to eat too much or too less,
Yes.
sleep enough
Right.
but not too much. You know, all these like small things. You need to check your clothes, make sure nothing too tight,
Yeah,
nothing too
yeah.
loose. Yeah, so you don't get nervous on the stage. And for ladies, it's like heels. You need to make sure it's
Mm.
not like too high or too small, so easy for you to sit and play. Many small things that we have to be done before performance. Yes,
Right.
so
Yes.
there's
yeah.
some preparations. Yeah.
And being performers, I'm just asking you this again as a complete layman again.
Yeah.
Are you superstitious about wearing this particular dress on that day? This is my concert dress, and I play really well when I wear this. Is that a thing, or is just me wearing a blue shirt when I go for an interview?
So basically, we are having uniform
Yeah.
for orchestra, and we have full team of people who are taking care of what we are wearing.
Right.
So, but I believe everyone has something. Oh, I want to put this lipstick, or
Yeah.
to put something in my hair, or these earrings, or you know.
So it does exist.
I believe it exists. Yeah.
Olena, what about you?
Yeah, I have some like lucky earrings that I always love to wear. I just feel comfortable with them, yeah. And one day I need to change them. I'm freaking out what it should be.
Yeah. Because I this just reminds me about one of the conversations that I was having with Sir. Then I told him that, Sir, I'm so superstitious that even when I have to park my car at one of the car parks, I look for number 9, bay number 9, and park my car there. And then he was like, what do you do if you don't find that, if it's not empty? So I said, I'll keep going around in circles until that's empty, and then I'll park. Or I'll find 54 and then park. Okay, 5 plus 4 makes it, and I park it there.
Wow, you're good in math.
Oh, I'm also. I also follow these numbers. I believe from the same thing. 3, 6, and 9, right?
Yeah.
I have that too.
Right, cool. And there's one track that I definitely wanted to get your thoughts on, something that Sir has composed, Humanitas. Have I pronounced it right? So
That's
with
correct.
12 Hindustani singers, it was super magical, and I absolutely loved it. And I remember watching it in loop when it came out. Obviously, I wasn't there for the concert, but I would love to hear your view on it, and how was it playing that, and then the whole journey of that particular track?
Yes, you know, you're right. It was magical, and we got practice this piece, and we practiced first this, by small groups when we received the scores, and we didn't know how it's gonna be sounds
Right.
with choir, with everything. And when we start practicing, all of us, it's they feel it's huge. You know, it's this piece. It sounds everything. It's like space. Yeah, when you feel you go through the space, you can see all the stars around you, the planets. It was. And I loved the way he used electronic music there. And I
Yeah.
think Tamara, you
I
have
play
there some.
keyboard,
Yeah.
yes.
And I had their solo part between choir parts, and it was something special when I received this. And the arranger came to me. AR was of course a composer, and arranger came to me, and he was like, "You have to understand how it should be." Sounds, because the way it's written, it sometimes could be different from a composer view, right? It's like there's some addings that you cannot read only through the notes. And it was amazing how patient was AR. Sir was working with me separately and explaining what he wants to be done, and telling you first time I ever played these kind of solos. And the
Wow.
feeling I was shaking after I done, and not because I was nervous, just because I really feel this music. It's go through me, because I feel like I'm playing in the space, like I'm a space woman. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Because
beautiful.
it was between my solo was between choir, male
Yes.
choir,
Yes,
and it
that's
was
right.
sounds magical.
I just have in front of me, when you mentioned, I would like to say that this composition's name is an ode to the UAE's Mars mission,
Yeah.
Wow.
ARRahman, and really it was inspiring. That happened exactly at that period when he composed this piece, and I really love how he said, to know the unknown is the quest of life. By exploring space, we explore ourselves.
Oof.
You know, it's really, really beautiful said, and it can directly transform you to some other to space.
So
Yeah,
deep
it's
and profound.
very deep. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really love it, and I believe that you need to play this kind of music many more times to get deeper, to understand better this piece. You know, it's new piece
Yeah.
you never heard, and it's quite hard to play when it's completely new, right?
Indeed.
Yeah, but it's really beautiful. And on that topic, we had also Starfield,
Mm-hmm.
a piece that he composed maybe a few months later,
Yeah.
and we performed on the stage. It's also related to, and I really love that topic, to space, to cosmos, to stars. It's really beautiful, and I played piano solo for that piece, and Lydia, our harpist, played solo. It was for harp and piano and orchestra, and again I can say I felt very nervous too, because you know, when you are performing completely new piece, you feel huge responsibilities, and I really I cannot forget that night. It's beautiful piece, and it's kind of hard to play,
Yeah.
and I think I would like to play again, because I believe if we play more times, it could be even better. And as I said, it's new piece, and you are first time doing premiere on the stage. It's really beautiful, but in the same time very hard.
So good. I love it. Love it. I think we could just do a podcast just on this particular track itself.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we'll go deeper the next one for sure. So coming towards the end of the podcast, just a couple of things before we wrap up. So Firdaus Orchestra, we have the concert on the 19th, and then so what's the way forward? Like what's happening after that? And then I would like to specifically ask, yeah, are there long-term plans about traveling, like across the world, and then maybe to Australia as a first thing?
It would be
how I
nice.
wish.
Yeah.
Yes, I hope we can do it soon. Yeah, we have a huge plans. Of course, we plan a lot what to play, when. But so far we have a list of the performances in Dubai, because now is amazing weather. We can perform every day outside.
Yeah, we have planned full season for
Yeah, we have full
this year.
season, so
Yes.
at least once in a month you will see us on the big stage, and
Wow.
maybe even often. And you can follow our Instagram page.
Yes.
We have there all information and updates, plus the tickets. I think tickets for the
They are
upcoming
available?
concert, they are available, and
Available
it's,
now.
Yes.
and it's also in our page. You
Yeah,
can
it
follow.
is.
Yeah.
And maybe we can say that in January we will have some very interesting concert.
Oh,
So
okay.
let's see
Right.
what is
Okay.
going to be.
Amazing.
You need to wait a little bit more
Okay.
for that.
Right. That sounds exciting for sure. Right. And then before we close it off, none of the guests just cannot escape this question. A message for Sir in this podcast. I know you can always tell him when you see him during the day, and tell him in person. But I would like to hear it via this podcast. A message for him with the journey that you have had with him, and the journey that you're obviously going to have in the way forward, in the years to come, and the journey that's never going to end. That's how I'd like to say it. It's ARR forever. And message for Sir. Anyone can go first. I'll leave that with you.
You mean message for Sir, right? For AR.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just would like to wish him to have a long, healthy years of life, to make our lives better because of this beautiful music he composes every year, and makes us happy playing this. And of course, it's a pleasure and big privilege and honor to work
Yes.
with him. So I just want to wish him health
So
through
good.
the years.
Yeah, I really like what Olena said, and I would add to that it's really inspiring
Mm.
to work with him and to see that one single person can achieve these many things in 1 year, for example. This is what is really inspiring for me, that I see that he is extremely hard worker, and I see he's having, for example, tour in America, and then I don't see that he's having rest.
Yeah.
Then there is movie, and
Yeah.
then there is some new piece of music, and then he's composing for us, and then there is musical wise. So it's like when he's doing all of these things, it's really interesting and very inspiring how hard worker he is, and this is really beautiful.
So good. Love it. And then maybe Tamara, you can go first. Your top 3 ARR Sir tracks. Any 3.
I think I would go for Starfield,
Yeah.
because I played solo and I really love that piece. It connected with me.
That's so good.
So that would be my number 1.
Mhm.
And then Latika's theme.
Oh wow, that's a beautiful theme. Yes.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. And it's hard to say only 3, But
know.
for sure, these 2 are my favorite.
Yeah.
J-Ho is
Yeah.
track for all time, and let's go for that one.
So good. Olena?
Mine, actually all of them they sound different, and all of them are beautiful. It's very difficult to pick 3 of them. It's so difficult. If you
Yeah.
say 30, maybe. But however, Bombay theme, of course, the one I played earlier.
Yeah.
Latika theme, what she mentioned, I love it too so
Mhm.
much. And Warriors of Heaven.
Yes,
wow.
beautiful. Yeah.
Nice.
And
pick.
I like one more. I have to go for 4th. Untold Stories. It's
Oh.
beautiful piece. Yes. Yes.
Very nice. Right. And you might want to go for the 4th one too, Olena? To make it even.
Humanitas. Everyone
Oh,
has to
that's
listen
cool.
it.
Yes.
Everyone.
Love it. Love it. So we are at the end of the podcast. So before we wrap it up, would you like to perform something, Olena, as a closing note?
You want me to perform something energetic, or it have to be?
You can take a pick.
Yes.
So cool.
Jai Ho!
Amazing. Thank you so much for
Thank you too.
coming on the podcast, and I had so much fun speaking with you both. And then I'm sure there's so many other aspects that I definitely wanted to go deeper into, but we'll save that for part 2 in person in January. And thank you so much, and then good luck for the concert on the 19th. I'm sure the fans are going to be thrilled to watch you all perform in the Albasi Dome, which is so beautiful. I've seen it in the videos. So cool. And very, very looking forward to seeing the fans getting excited about the concert and then watching them. I mean, getting them to watch. So thank you so much for joining me on this podcast.
Thank you very much, Chandler. It was amazing and
Thank
such
you very
pleasure
much.
for us
Thank
to
you
meet
very
you.
much for having us.
Thank
It
you
was
so much.
pleasure.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.